Good morning, YouTube. It is finally March. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Oh my God. My birthday is in 11 days and I will be 35. No. And it's just funny how after I turned 31, COVID happened and life has never been the same. Like, if we're being completely honest, you know, they talk about budget cuts and migrants and all type of stuff is going on right now. But in the midst of it all, trust God. And that's the word for today. What else can you do? And I feel like if all of this happened and you still don't believe God, I don't know what to tell you. But I wanted to briefly talk about an interview that I saw. The person's name, I believe, is Vanessa. I might be wrong, but anyway, she was sued by Cardi B. She was sued for lying on her, and she's broke, so she can't pay the money back. And she did an interview. It's a guy on YouTube. He has a channel. And I wanted to encourage you all that I think I did a previous video like this, but I'm going to reiterate. A lot of the times when you don't get along with someone, whether it be family, a former friend, and you know that you never did nothing to that person, sometimes it's the fact that you love God that will tick them off. They don't even know why they don't like you. There's nothing to dislike about you. You haven't done nothing to them. But your love for God interrupts their demons. And I have my own little experience with 2 atheist people that were in my life. And in my opinion, I felt like they were good men. You know, one of them was my son's godfather. I made him the godfather. We knew each other from 7th grade. And he had very high morals. You know, he was the type of dude, he got girls, but he didn't sleep with everybody. And he was just a real upstanding citizen. He come from a good family. He was an electrician. But the big issue we had was he was a liar. Like, he would lie about stupid stuff, like, whatever. But for me, I look at the overall. Nobody's perfect, but to me, he was cool in my book. But every few years, or recently, we had a disagreement about a rapper, PB and Rock. Now, neither one of us really listen to rap music like that, so it was just weird. And I'll never forget, normally he'll just go ghost on me, and years later or a year later I'll hit him up and we'll be cool again. But this time when he did that, I knew it was because at the end of the day, you're not gonna brainwash me into your thinking. And I know, being older now, that's what it is. You could tell a person you're entitled to your opinion, and just you saying that will piss the devil off. And so we were talking about fate. I was like, 50 Cent was shot 9 times. He's still here. Everybody's not meant to live. He's like, oh, he was a young man and he should have had security. And he said if he would have had security, he'd still be alive. I said, no, we all leave when it's time for us to leave. You got children who died. I'll never forget when I was in 6th grade, a girl because I went to Pilgrim Church, shout out to them. I went to the school, it shut down, and that's how I ended up at his school for 1 year, Trey Whitfield. I was there 1 year, wasn't for me. And then I went to Bethel, shout out to Bethel. But so when I was in Pilgrim, there was a young girl who passed away in her sleep. She didn't have heart problems, none of that. And it was our Bible teacher, Thaddeus. I don't know if he's still with the ministry, but our Bible teacher had told us, like, from 6th grade, yo, don't think because you're young and healthy, you're gonna be on this earth forever. You know, because this girl was young, she was healthy, she was vibrant, and her mom went to her bedroom and she was dead. And I think they said she didn't go to the school, but she went to the church and they announced it, and it was so sad. And then they had a police officer who went to the church and he shot himself. Now, the world, or I should say, not even the world, but people outside of the church, they believed it was suicide. But the people in the church and in the school, they told us it was an accident. He passed away. It was like a lot of people passing away around that time before the school shut down. I remember that. But they always taught us, and not just because they taught us, but it makes sense. When it's your time, it's your time. I've heard a lot of people who played Russian roulette with their life and they still here. You know, I've heard a lot of people who've done things and they still here. Took pills and they still here because it's not their time. So when I was saying that to him, it ticked him off. But it wasn't him that was ticked off. It was the demons inside of him. So the next morning, because that was Halloween night, I'll never forget it, and it was 2022. The next morning, he texts me and says, a long essay. And I'm reading this essay, and then I realized to myself, yo, he got serious issues. Like, this is not even a normal reaction to someone you have a disagreement with. He's like, I don't need that negative energy in my life. And I'm like, what's negative about me having my own opinion? It's, oh, you hate God so much and you're so much of an atheist. Me saying anything about God is just, you just can't take it. And I didn't really realize it until now. But in this particular interview on YouTube, the same lady, first of all, I would never listen to an interview from that lady because she lied on Cardi B. There's no reason to go around and say the things that she was saying. She said how Cardi B had herpes. She said how Cardi B did this, did that. And I'm glad Cardi B sued her. And hopefully that teaches her a lesson to stop lying on people. It's one thing to talk about people, but then you lying on people? I hate people like that. Like, there's no reason to do that, you know. But so I wasn't surprised when she tried to challenge the artist. I think name was Tasha K. So, you know, she was saying to her, brainwash, and basically putting her down for believing in God. And when you look at first, she does make sense. She's like, the Bible contradicts itself, which it does. We all know, if you really read the Bible, you know that. Like, it says slaves obey your masters, and that you should be happy about it, Colossians 5. Then it says God don't like divorce, and if you get remarried, you're committing adultery. It says flee fornication, but then it turns around and says be fruitful and multiply. Like, there's a lot of things in there that, yes, it does contradict itself, but that doesn't mean that it's still positive things in there, right? You just have to, like, even my own father, he's like, try to avoid the scriptures. If Jesus didn't say it, try to avoid it. Or if it's in the Old Testament, try to avoid it. We're in the new world now. This is 2024, so obviously certain things, don't pay attention to that. Like, you know, whatever. The Bible is very good. The Bible is literally a history book. So I would never say, oh, but people who say that, they are atheists and they are anti-God. And I wanted to say, be careful of those people, because they hate God and they can't even tell you why. this same so-called friend, he said he stopped going to church because the church he went to at 10 years old now. We in our 30s. He's a year older than me. He talking about, oh, they didn't believe in dinosaurs and they said it's not in the Bible. I said, okay, what's their education level? Because that does play a part. He's like, he don't know and he don't care. I said, but you're gonna stop going to church for one incident when you attend? Like, that doesn't make sense. He's like, when he asked a question, they was like, it's not in the Bible. Yeah, dinosaurs are not in the Bible. So you can't blame them for their beliefs or understanding. It just, so you're saying you don't go to church because of one church, and it's like, to me, that's just an excuse. I've been through way worse than that. I done been bullied. I done been picked on. I went through a whole different, a lot, you know. And even in my adult life, I tried to join, and I was told I cannot work on Sundays. You have to be there every Sunday. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just visit, because when you do the member thing, it's a lot. Like, who wants to be, you know, you gotta be obligated on a weekend. So I just visit or whatever. But I said all that to say this: don't let these atheist people make you feel like. And I remember having a disagreement, and you know, this same person, he belittled me for believing in the Moses story. I said, do you watch National Geographic? Because you would know that it's real. It's a real story. It's not just a Bible story. And he's like, oh, I know you're smarter than that. There's no way that happened for real. I said, that's your opinion. Like, how you gonna sit here and say I'm dumb for believing in the Moses story? So from back then, I should have cut him off, because you don't say that, you know. But I said, good morning. I said all that to say this: don't let anybody disturb your beliefs, and stick true to what you believe in, and don't let anybody make you feel different. And those are my thoughts.